Hello everybody, how are you? It's Jay Victoria, the Energy Queen. Okay, it's November 1st, but I am going to a Halloween party tonight, so I am embracing, I don't know, this. It's fun, right? Okay, so you guys, I have a little sparkle too. I wanted to do this video because I am actually talking a lot at Energy Queen. This crown feels weird. Okay, there we go. This week about feminine energy. And I have a lot of clients who are curious about love and dating and energy and how can you have a better dating experience through applying energetic principles to your life. So I thought it would be a good idea to do a video on how to become super dateable. And this is the reason why I wanted to use those words, because when I was in college, I remember one time there was a guy who had a crush on, and he said about this other girl one time, she's super dateable. And I was just like, what does that mean? And why is she super dateable? Like, it stayed with me. I was like, I want to be that, but I don't really know what it is that she's doing exactly. Because this girl was kind of kept to herself. She wasn't she was like pretty, but she wasn't like trying to impress guys with the way she looked. She was really all about her homework, and I remember she used to like just carry around oatmeal all the time, and she was always eating oatmeal and like cared about her health. And I was just like, what makes her super dateable, you know? She wasn't really partying or doing anything I thought you were supposed to do to be super dateable. And that really stayed as a curiosity for me, like, what does that mean? And I feel like we hear things like this often. Like, you'll hear someone say they're wife material, or you know, and it's just kind of like, what is that? And well, what is, you know, like, what exactly constitutes that? What makes them different from someone else? So I wanted to do a video on how to be super dateable because I figured it out. And I know that, like, for my clients, they ask me questions like this all the time. So this is also something I want to share with them and also everybody who is interested in this topic. So there are 3 ways that you can become super dateable. The gist of it is it's all about having strong feminine energy, and I'll explain what feminine energy really means, and then having a good relationship with masculine energy. So this video may sound a bit, it's not that I want to sound heteronormative, but I want you to know that no matter what your identity is, no matter like your gender identity, your sexual identity, these principles can apply to you. But it may sound like I'm just talking about straight women and men, but these principles can apply to anybody. And okay, I just wanted to say that. So the gist of it, yeah, is that it's really about having a strong relationship, or having strong feminine energy yourself. If you identify as a woman, this is especially important to you, and like to your whole entire energy balance. Women actually need to put their feminine energy first to have a good balance of both your feminine and your masculine. The more you pour into your feminine energy, the more you will balance naturally with your own masculine. So that's why you see a lot of really successful women just killing it with their masculine, having lots of money, being really successful, being really busy. As someone who lives in New York, I very much think about this all the time. It's not something that's necessarily taught to us, especially with words. Like, I look at a lot of those women, and I know that they were in a family that supported their feminine energy. They have a mother, possibly, who really taught them how to do certain things to support their feminine. They grew up in a culture that just supported feminine energy. Not all of us grew up with that. So not all of us value our feminine. Not all of us know what it is. Not all of us we know how to nurture that. And so we're the ones who can struggle. And I say we're because I was part of that group. Like, I grew up in a family of 4 brothers that generally just did not even know what feminine energy was. feared feminine energy, actually. So I struggled a lot, you know, and I'm still working at undoing a lot of that. You could call it damage. I don't want to get dramatic, but I mean, there's so many positive things that can come from any situation that you grew up in. You become strong in certain ways. I know that there are certain qualities I have from having four brothers that are wonderful. So I'm not like putting down any situation you might have grown up in. It can give you so many gifts. But having balanced energy is something you're going to need. So learning as an adult how to do that is why I do the work I do to help people. So basically what your feminine energy is, and the first step that you want to focus on to be super dateable, and I'm speaking specifically to women here. Again, I'm sorry if it sounds like heteronormative, but I'm just trying to have an example, but again, the principles can apply. And I'll try to, you know, include more perspectives in what I'm saying. But basically, if you identify as a woman, the first thing you need to do to become super dateable is to have strong feminine energy. Because the mistake a lot of women make is making whether, like the mistake I was even making in college when I described, like, you know, how this girl who was super dateable didn't really care what anybody thought, and yet I really cared, but then why didn't that make me more dateable? Was because feminine energy is about, it's made up of 4 ingredients. So presence, pleasure, self-value, and your purpose. And so if I think about that girl, like, she had all those. She was present in that she was just taking care of her own shit. And she cared about her health, and she cared about her homework, and she, you know, would spend a lot of nights by herself, but she was probably resting and taking care of herself. Presence. Pleasure. You know, she was, again, taking care of herself. What did she need? What did she want? It wasn't about anybody else. Self-value is really, really big. What do you need to do? How do you think about yourself? How do you want to dress? What makes you feel good? What, you know, like, it's not about impressing anybody or impressing men or trying to get attention. It's literally just about you. And then your purpose. Why are you on this planet? Are you working toward that? And she was definitely, like, in her own world doing those things. So when I think about her, that example of her through that context or lens of feminine energy, it definitely makes sense that she was strengthening her feminine energy. Probably didn't know that's what she was doing, but definitely was, if you look at it through what feminine energy is: presence, pleasure, self-value, and purpose. And if you will build any of these, you will build your feminine energy. All 4, even better. So when you look at your life, if you want to be super dateable, the first thing you need to do is have strong feminine energy, and these are practical ways to do that. Ask yourself, am I present in my life? Ask yourself, do I have pleasure? Like, do I care about making myself happy? Do I eat? Do I hydrate? Do I take care of myself? Do I have value for myself? Do I dress in a way that makes me happy? Do I feel good about myself? Do I get my hair cut? Do I present myself in a way that feels good to me? And do I work on my purpose? Do I have something I'm passionate about? Do I work on that? Do I focus there? Do I really live in the world in a way that, like, makes me feel good about myself? That's how you build feminine energy, through all those kind of things. I can even get more practical about it. Things that I do to have strong feminine energy are like, I get enough sleep. I get more sleep if I didn't get enough sleep. I have routines that make me feel happy. Like, I always have tea or coffee or something that makes me happy in the morning. I buy, like, nice little lotions that smell good. This one smells like pumpkin, maple. Getting flowers, I need to get new ones, but, you know, that makes me happy. Nobody knows about most of these things, but I do. I wear earrings because jewelry is feminine, because it only is something you can enjoy in the present. And it also just makes you feel good. Get earrings that you like. Don't care about what anyone thinks. That's kind of why I wore a little sparkle and a crown as well for this, because it's like, these are just enjoyable things about life. Fluffy sweaters. This is not for anybody else. This is for me. but people love it. People compliment me on it all the time. Doing your hair, doing your makeup, cleaning your room, having things around you that are pretty, doing things that make you feel pretty and happy, and going for your biggest dream, your purpose in the world, and actively doing something about that every single day. Taking time to not do anything, be present. Yeah, these are all examples, but you can, whatever these things are for you, that's going to build your feminine. And that is the first thing you want to do to become super dateable, because feminine energy, and guys know this, is not something they're going to give you. It's something they can kind of bring out in you, but they don't like it when you rely on them for it. Like, the mistake I was making in college was like, I wasn't really focusing on myself. I was like, I need a guy to make me feel a certain way. And so I became like desperate for the guy, which drives guys away, because they know that's not good for you. They know that they can't give you all the things I just described feminine energy is. That's something you have to give yourself. And no matter what your dating status is, if you start doing more of these things for yourself, getting stronger feminine energy, it just makes you more and more attractive, more and more dateable, more and more, men especially love feminine energy. Again, I know that's if they're straight, so it's like, but like, I'm just saying, like, you can really, feminine energy is very receptive as well, so it really draws people in who are right for you. It's almost like, the weird irony about dating is that guys want to support you, but they want you to not need their support. So it's like, you have to get to a place where like, you're really taking care of yourself, you're doing okay, and they feel like it's so joyful for them to add on to that, and in fact kind of take some of the load off of you. But I find that if you're really helpless and needy and like desperate for them, it's not the same kind of attraction. And so when I look at that girl again, that example, what made her super dateable was that she didn't really need anybody, and she was really happy, and like, guys love to be around feminine energy, so like, that makes them want to be near that, and also to nurture it and bring it out and support it even more. So yeah, that's the first step, is strengthen your feminine. And the second step is redefine what masculine energy is, because the problem with trying to attract masculine energy or a man while hating men or thinking they're toxic or complaining about them is that you're not really inviting the good stuff in. That, like, you're not looking in the world, you're not living in a world where you're even aware of all the good. You're just complaining about all the bad, and so that's all you're really going to see. The truth about masculine energy, there's a difference between toxic or negative energy and masculine energy. There's a difference, and a lot of people think there's no difference, but there is. Masculine energy, if feminine energy is all those things I described, one word to describe masculine energy is support. It loves to support. It is designed to support. It's not designed to fix, right? But it's designed to support. That's why when you have more feminine, it attracts more support, and even more, and then it just becomes more and more fun. You're taking care of yourself, and you get more support to do that. It's awesome. And masculine energy, if you look at men and the way they behave, they really do want to support you. And that's how they're wired, like energetically, to support you. And sometimes the support looks like rejecting you because you're being needy. If they show up and have a relationship with you and you're needy, well, they're not really supporting you and becoming the person that you are meant to be, right? So sometimes they will actually reject you in the name of support. Sometimes they'll do it in brutal ways because, and I don't think they're even aware of it necessarily, but they will do it in really brutal ways so that they really cut themselves out so that you can really have the space that you need. So masculine energy is very wired to support you. Do some men do shitty things? Yes. And that is not masculine energy. That is negative energy. Okay, so there's a big difference. So I want you to start redefining what masculine is to you. Start watching where you have negative beliefs about men and what they're like and everything, and start making the distinction between what's masculine, which is supportive, and what's negative, which case by case, men have negative energy in them too. So, or whoever you're dating. So people can do shitty things, yeah, but that's not necessarily what all of men are like, or all of masculine energy is like. And masculine and feminine, it's not like one's good and one's bad. They're both just energy that is positive and that is needs to balance in you. You have your own masculine too. And so that's another thing. You need to redefine your own masculine energy. This is not supposed to be something that suppresses you or hurts you. A lot of women still think like, you know, the whole masculine side of life is the physical side. Money, practical things, logic, time, schedule, all those things. The feminine is the spiritual, the energetic. Masculine is, a lot of people live as victims of it. It's really easy to do. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough time. I'm tired all the time. I am burned out. That's you living as a victim of the masculine. Masculine energy is not there to hurt you. It's there to support you. Your schedule is supposed to support you. Money is supposed to support you. Like, that's the whole practical, physical side of your life is supposed to support you. So you need to redefine what that is. It's not, I have to exercise. It's that the masculine laws of nature dictate that if I exercise, I will become stronger. That's a supportive energy. Money is there and it does support you. Would you like it to be there more? Well, then look at how do you invite more masculine energy. Don't call it bad. So redefining what masculine is really important to becoming super dateable, because you don't want to have such negative connotations about masculine energy that you can't let it in. I see that a lot in women, where it's like you want this thing but you're calling it bad and you're rejecting it constantly. It's like, how are you going to ever let it in? Okay, so you need to redefine and really get to know the truth and the positive truth about what masculine energy really is, and that is the only way you're going to attract somebody who is going to have those qualities. Because if you're looking for something negative all the time, like you will literally be creating it in people. You will be drawing it out of them. You won't let them even be the positive version of themselves. So you need to really redefine on your own, not just with one person, but with the masculine in general, with your own, with that whole masculine side of life. Like, you need to always look for how masculine energy is trying to support you, because that's the truth about it. Okay. And then the third step is you build a positive relationship with it. So the cool thing about feminine and masculine energy when you're a woman is that you strengthen your feminine first, because what feminine always does is bridge with the masculine. And a lot of people don't know this. They think that if you're always building your feminine, you're just going to be super feminine and too feminine, and I'm too feminine, too much of my feminine. It's not possible, because feminine energy naturally bridges with masculine energy. You can't have too much, because it will always bridge. If you are not bridging with the masculine, if you're not connecting with your masculine, if your own feminine isn't giving you ideas that you can then act on, or giving you energy so that you can take action in the physical world, then you don't have enough of it. You need to build more, because it will always bridge with the masculine. Same with having feminine in the world, just being feminine like I described. Don't worry about who you're attracting or if you'll attract anybody. You will, because the feminine always bridges with the masculine. That's how it is designed to work with it. So notice how the more you take care of yourself, the more you dress up, you feel pretty, you do things for yourself, you go after your purpose. Men are very aware of whether you're going after your purpose, by the way. They're very aware of, whether women are connected to their feminine or not. The more you are, the more they feel like there's space for them. There's room for them. You're bridging with them. You're able to create a peaceful relationship with them where you don't rely on them, and you're not needy, and you're not mad at them if they're not there, and all those things. It's like, it's just such a more peaceful connection and bridge. And if you're in a place where you're feeling like a victim because they're not there, then you're not ready for them to come in. So how can you build a positive relationship with the masculine? How can you just live your life in a way where you're, creating so much of the feminine and bridges that you are just joyful about having the masculine there? You're joyful to have more support. You're joyful to share your feminine energy and to have that give and take. And it's just, it's all joy. It's not anger. It's not issues. It's not blaming. And it's peace. So how do you create that kind of relationship? Well, feminine first, redefine the masculine, allow yourself to bridge with the masculine naturally, and allow it in. And it's much easier to trust the masculine. A lot of people have trust issues, but it's easier to trust it when you know that you're safe with your feminine. You know that you have self-value. You know that you're going after your purpose. You know that you're going to take care of yourself. You trust yourself. You trust God. God is another, God the Father is an aspect of the masculine, even though it's spiritual. Your relationship with God, with Jesus, like that can be a reflection of your relationship with the masculine. Do you trust God? Do you trust Jesus? Are you open to that support that's trying to get through to you? Are you open to, opening yourself up to receive more, receive new things? Like, this is all, your relationship with the masculine in general is the relationship you'll have with a man, or with, however you identify the polar opposite of your energy. It's that give and take and the tension of feminine, masculine, the way that they move together and they relate and they bring out aspects of each other that are positive. Like, that's like the beautiful dance and chemistry of these two energies. So no matter how you identify, there's going to be an aspect of feminine and masculine that you're attracted to because it's different from you in a way. Someone's energy can be different no matter how they identify. And so, so I hope this gave you some ideas on how to become super dateable. And if you have any questions, please put them in the comments. And I just hope it helped. I know that it's all energy theory and talking about things that you can't necessarily see with your eyes, but these are real things that you can start to see results with, especially if you start to, take the advice and try it out. It's not something that's just going to magically change. You need to do something different. Take those 4 principles of feminine energy: presence, pleasure, self-value, purpose. Build these things in your life and you will start building more feminine energy. As a woman, you need to put that first and you will balance with your masculine. If you identify as a man, you need to put your masculine energy first. So men need to be prioritizing action taking, schedule, logic, practicality, finances. You need to be really organized, and that will conjure your feminine. That will bring out your feminine and, conjure her into your life. If you are non-binary, I like to say that you should work when work feels restful, and you should rest when rest feels productive. So these are just some general tips that you can employ, but these are all things that can help your energy balance between your feminine and masculine, which is what ultimately makes you super dateable. Okay, I hope that helps. Thank you so much. Bye.